Hello, in this video I'm going to explain you Turkey's approach to Ukrainian-Russian war, specifically how the people, regular people, consider this war and how politicians consider that and how they are going to act accordingly. But let me first just explain something about me. I'm not a professional in anything. I'm not a journalist. I'm not an international relations bachelor or not even a student. I'm a student just in another area. I'm not related to these kind of things professionally. I just follow the news and the media in Turkey on the internet, not on the TV. I have some of my own feelings and thoughts about these kind of issues, and I will try to explain specifically my own ideas and why I think like that, what my observations are, so that you can have a clue about Turkey's and people's idea. Now let me just begin with Turkish people's approach to this war. First of all, there has been a survey in Turkey by a private company called Metropol. They regularly make politic surveys in Turkey, and in this month, in March, they made, in the last month actually, they made a survey about this war, and they simply asked who is responsible for this war, who is to blame. And let me just check the numbers again. 33% of all people just say it's Russia, 33.7%, and actually 48.3% just blames US and NATO about this war, and 7.5% blames Ukraine, and just like 10% of people have no idea or response, or they blame someone else. So you see, actually Turkish people mainly accuses United States of America and NATO for this war, and they less accuse Russia for this war. So how is it possible how Turkey, as a NATO ally, its people would blame NATO for this war? I think, first of all, it's not just about this war, but Turkish people generally likes to accuse America and NATO for all of our problems. Mainly Turkish people accuses United States and NATO for two things. First, formation and organization of terrorist organizations in Turkey. They blame these US and NATO for that. And secondly, the military weakness of Turkey. Let me explain how Turkish people think like that. The first thing, formation of terrorist organizations. Actually, I don't know how people think like that. I think there are some logical issues with that. First of all, most of the terrorist organizations in Turkey was either communist or left-wing sided. So, and forming that kind of terrorist organizations is something really America wouldn't do, I think. Especially I'm talking about like years in 70s or 80s. At the highest, not 80s, but mainly 70s, at the highest point of internal boiling of Turkey. Yes, and the main terrorist organizations were communists. It's clear that America wouldn't do such a thing, build a terrorist organization which is communist by its own hand. So I don't believe that America would do. And secondly, yeah, another terrorist organization, and I think it's the most powerful terrorist organization of all of them. It's PKK. It's a Kurdish separatist terrorist organization. And as I said, it's mainly separatist. It wants a part of Turkey to be separated. And they claim that a Kurdish nation-based state formation, they support that idea. Again, as I said, they're Kurdish nationalists, separatists, and they're somewhat communists, actually. I guess they were Marxists or Leninist, I'm not sure. But that kind of stuff. So with that, there are many reasons why that terrorist organization has been found and succeeded a lot. When I mean succeed, what is achievement? What could be achievement of a terrorist organization? Maybe killing many people. So they did actually. They killed over 40,000 people in Turkey. And they gained somewhat a powerful position, and they really caused a lot of trouble in Turkey in last years. They say for different reasons they have weakened a lot, or they have gone beyond the border of Turkey to, I guess, Syria or Iraq. So I'm not sure about that, but again, they blame, Turkish people blame also formation of this organization, PKK. They blame USA for that, and NATO. Not NATO specifically, but generally USA. They say USA did this for us in order to undermine us, in order to cause trouble within us, so that we could never be powerful, etc. The reasons goes like that. Turkish people blame these for United States of America. I don't, but quite a lot of people does it. You have to know that. And within this conflict about Ukraine, again, you know, I don't understand why, but people generally blame Russia as well. 33% is not. It's not good. It's too less, to be honest. I'm disappointed just how nearly half of people blame United States, and just 1/3 of people blames Russia for that. So yes, people think like that, and they don't blame Russia for that. Actually, they support they support what? They support arguments of Russia, especially Putin, that NATO is getting too close to Russia and Russia doesn't want it. So Turkish people who accuses US and NATO, they say you shouldn't have gone that far. You shouldn't have stayed where you were. But I don't understand how people can overlook this. But Russia or NATO or United States, NATO or United States is not invading or didn't want to invade Ukraine. Ukraine willingly, as a democratic country, they have chosen their own leaders, and their leaders promised them to actually be more close to NATO and the Western allies. So it was what Ukrainian people wanted, and actually 7.5% of people blames Ukrainian people for that. They do. I don't know why. People just do that. Okay, I guess for people's ideas that's enough. Let me just explain what Turkish politicians would do or what they think about that issues. First of all, a politician, of course, would like to be populist so that they can get votes from voters. But in Turkey, I think there's something else. Since Turkish people are so against America and NATO, actually the politicians are as well, I think. I'm not sure. For example, you can say NATO and United States of America has helped Turkey a lot in order to build a strong army, a regular army, and lots of weapons. Most of our weapons came from USA or NATO. So we got a lot of help from them. So as a politician, should you like them or hate them? So publicly, I think when it comes to speaking with the people, I think politicians choose to blame United States of America. They say, for example, Erdogan has done it a lot. So he accused America, Germany, NATO or European Union lots of time in front of people in meetings. So they use them, but when it comes to real stuff, when you really get in front of America and you speak them as a politician, I doubt that they are again that much against them. I think, for example, in example of Erdogan, he would probably seek for more and more cooperation and helping each other. So politicians are just being politicians. They do whatever they can to get votes, and after that they do whatever they would think that would help country. I'm not just saying that they're so good people, they really would do whatever is good for the country. Just they have to make it a little bit good, because after some time, when you're not good as a politician, it's so obvious that you cannot get a vote just by words. In Turkey, that's a little bit different. Our government, Erdogan, is just terrible right now. It's terrible. But still, people vote for them. I may explain that in another video. Just let me not distract from this topic. So for that reason, Turkey, I don't think has a healthy policy for this kind of conflicts. People are against NATO and USA, although USA is our ally, personally ally, and we are a member of NATO since many decades. For some reason, people are against these both. And let me explain you something else. Turkish people don't want to depend on one side. For example, they don't want to depend on NATO or USA alone. Why? I have somewhat an explanation. My explanation is that the Ottoman Empire would do that as well in the old times. Actually, we are taught in the schools that Ottoman Empire wouldn't just lean on one side. They would just partly would be ally with one side and partly ally with the other side, so that they can be somewhat independent to each to two sides. They can leverage one side for the other. And I think Turkish people likes that policy, obviously, and they want it to continue, and they don't want Turkey to be ally to one side, so that they can, for example, leverage Russia to United States of America. And I think that's what we observe since a few years. Turkey, especially Erdogan, has leaned on Russia excessively, and NATO and United States of America were not happy with this. For example, they actually, since we got S-400 missiles, we were expelled from F-35 program. It was just so swift. So they're not happy with that, but still, I don't know why, but this is what Turkish people want. I may again explain that later in another video. And there is something else why especially Erdogan is behaving the way he behaves in this conflict. And I'm not going to about the people, I'm going to specifically talk about Erdogan. Erdogan is a corrupted and failed and totalitarian leader in Turkey. Why corrupted? It's obvious that he is corrupted. Even his biggest supporters in Turkey doesn't deny that. They say, yes, he steals, but he works. This is what people who vote for Erdogan says. I'm not kidding, I'm not lying either. This is what they say. Secondly, I said he's failed. Yes, he did after his corruption has been revealed, and he didn't resign. He didn't quite try to solve this problem. Everything got worse and worse, and right now Turkey's economy is just collapsed. Our situation is worse than Russia, which is in war, which has a lot of sanctions on it. Our economy is just worse than Russia's. Not kidding. Totalitarian, yes, Erdogan is quite totalitarian. For example, if he heard me saying he's totalitarian, he's corrupted, and he's failed, he would sue on me probably. Thankfully, we are not like Soviet Russia or Nazi Germany. I wouldn't be dead, but I could be easily jailed. I have that fear, but somewhat I should be free as well. And there are some other things that I consider. So I said three things about Erdogan, and he's, for that reason, similar to Putin. I think as totalitarian leaders, they help each other. That's what I think. Or even if they don't help each other, it's better than just being alone against Western countries, Western allies. It's better to try to help each other, just they're not alone. Because as I said, they are both totalitarian, they are both failed, they are both corrupted. They are selfish. A selfish leader wouldn't be helping to another leader just being friends. They would just helping each other to make their position even stronger in their country. And I think that's what they do, and that's why Turkey has been leading some of the peace meetings in Antalya and maybe in some other cities in Turkey. So although it's not fully successful, these meetings, they actually helped in Turkey to Erdogan to regain his popularity. Even people who are most against Erdogan, they really appreciate. They say, oh, he really handles the situation well. He's not solely depending on NATO and USA, and he's not wholly in totally on side of Russia. So he has gained some popularity, as I said, on this peace meetings, and there's nothing more actually. Peace didn't came out of these meetings. Just people when they see Erdogan trying to seem like doing something for this peace, they're just happy with that. That's all. So I may continue this video later. I don't know if you have some questions about some other things. You can tell on the comments. I may, for example, actually give some other information about Turkey. I have some plans in my mind. If you just, how would you like to know Turkey? If you just wrote on the comments, that would help me a lot. So I would like to finish this video. See you later.